Let's do it.
All right. Hello, everybody. We are so excited for our very first episode of Fix It or Forget It, where you send in your stories, we read them here together, and we give you our take.
Now, listen, y'all. We are full time marriage recovery coaches,
Mhm.
content creators, but before we are any of those things, we are parents. And
Yes.
we've created this business so that we can have the ability to go and be with our kids whenever we need them.
Mhm.
So, just on the off chance that you guys hear them yelling in the background, they are safe. They're playing video games, nothing to worry about. Just wanted to put that out there.
Mhm.
All right, we have our first story, and let's jump into it. I was married about 6 years. We got married quickly, but lived two totally different lifestyles. My ex husband came with a lot of loud tones, aggression, and manipulation. A woman that did not accept such behavior used my words to defend me. My mouth needs work. However, he has a strong need for attention and validation, so he would run to other women of his past and create emotional connections. I was betrayed and lied to constantly. I was cold and ugly. I left many times. I finally divorced March 2024. I felt as involved as we were in the church, and as much as he served, it was all a performance. He said the divorce affected him badly. He immediately went back to his old ways, sleeping around, and would lie to me when I found out. We tried reconciling, but he did not know how to right his wrongs, to regain trust and rebuild. My kids are grown and witnessed me at my lowest. He got into a relationship for a few months and now claims to be done and wants to restore. I don't have 1 ounce of trust for him, but the love is still there. I know he can be a better man. The details are honestly heartbreaking and not a godly man's behavior. I long for that now as I have remained alone all this time.
Mm.
Do we fix it or forget it? It's a tough one.
Okay,
It's
let's get
layered.
into it.
Let's get into it. I feel like there's so much to unpack.
Yeah.
6 years of marriage, quick marriage, totally different lifestyles,
Mhm.
currently divorced, kids involved.
Ooh, I think that we can start with what we were already just talking about earlier, which is that becoming one,
Mm,
right? The resistance of becoming one and how that either drives you apart or it brings you
brings you back.
together.
Yeah.
So living the two different lifestyles, obviously that's number one was the issue. Um, I think it's so cool that this is our first one in that for you guys to already be divorced and in that space is definitely a special case.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy because we do have a few clients, right, who have
Mhm.
been divorced and
Yeah.
who are now back married again,
Yep.
but know like, hey, there are areas in this marriage that we need to focus on
Right.
because we've done this before and we do not want to mess this up again. So the intentionality and the question that you have asked, the story that you have told shows that like, hey, you don't want to leave any stone left unturned, which is an amazing place to start. Because if
Yeah.
we were in a coaching session, right, we would say, hey, have you taken enough time to think about everything that you've been through?
Mhm.
Have you had enough time to feel to the extent that you need to in order to grieve what you thought that you had in order to go into the next space that you want to be in?
Mhm.
Right. And so you showing up with this story lets us know that at least you've done some of the work that needs to be done to get started in this. So if
Yeah.
we were in a coaching session, the next thing we would say is, hey, we need to dig in. All right, we need to figure out what more has taken place and how to address it and how to move past it because we don't believe
Mhm.
in moving forward when you still have unresolved things in your past.
Right.
Right? We feel like you are stuck at whatever your oldest unresolved issue is.
Mhm.
And so if you have an unresolved issue that started at the beginning of the marriage 6 years ago, we have to go back 6 years, figure out exactly what that was,
Yep.
how it impacted you, and what we need to do to have it completely removed so that you guys can move into what we call a new normal.
Yes. I want to also, I think it's really important that we kind of go back a little bit
Mhm.
because we want to make sure that you know that it was okay for you to divorce.
100%. It's okay.
Like
Your
that
decision,
is so important
no judgment.
for you to know. You had every right to, every reason to, and that was okay. So we want to make sure that your desire to restore is not coming from a place of, was it wrong to do this in the first place? Okay. You weren't in the wrong for doing that. You had every right to do that. Now that that's out the way, when we're talking about restoration and what you are looking for, because this is a massive risk, because there is no trust. As you said, you tried to leave many times before you finally did it because of the multiple betrayals. There are going to be very specific things that you are looking for because this is a risk,
Mhm.
right? It's plain and simple. There's no way around that. It is a risk. So you are going to be looking for specific things from him in order to see, okay, you're at least making an effort, right?
100%. Trust is everything. And so something that we tell our clients all the time is that when you're trying to get back to trust, there are a few things that you need to look out for. You need consistent changed behavior over an extended period of time for you to trust that what you see today is what you can expect tomorrow. So do not expect for like today, I'm just all the way 100% back in.
Yes.
You don't have enough data, right? They haven't shown you enough that, hey, they're going to be trustworthy for the next 10 years. In fact, the argument could be said that they have shown you that they will not be trustworthy. Right. And so you need consistent change behavior over an extended period of time for you to trust that what you see today is what you can expect tomorrow. And that is how you build your new foundation for your new normal. Right. For us, whenever anything like infidelity enters the chat, we are of the belief that it should shatter your world. Nothing should be left standing anymore. The chairs need to be thrown out. Tables need to be flipped over. The floorboards need to be ripped up, and new foundation needs to be laid, because you have to have a new normal going forward. And anything that existed before cannot exist now, right? So if you guys decide to reconcile and he goes back to any of his old ways, right, that is not going to be a positive component to what you guys are trying to build for tomorrow.
Yes, if he's displaying any of those.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, the same goes for you, like what he's bringing out of you. If you're still feeling those same things, that is definitely a red flag. And this is a special case because you guys are already divorced, right? So it's kind of cool because you guys get to date again.
Yeah, start over.
Right? You get to start
100%.
over, which a lot of people don't have, right? They're kind
stuck
of
in it.
working with what they have. But
Yeah.
you get to date. You get to actually test these things without saying, okay, let's go full in. Let's go all in.
Or have to, right?
Yeah.
There's no covenant, right? There's no 100% commitment that I have to be here
Right.
even if you're going to continue to do the thing that you did.
Right.
Right. You have not like a free door to exit, right? We don't want it to make it seem like, oh, just run away. But also, you can run away.
I think that's really important. I think the other thing that is really important, and we kind of touched on it a little bit already, is the healing. The healing part of it. Have you fully processed everything? If you have not had the opportunity to do that, or if you've had the opportunity, but it's always been under the pressure of making decisions, right? Then you haven't had the opportunity. We want you to have a full amount of processing before making this decision, because that is the way to healing, right? And if you do not feel like you are healed enough to take this big of a risk, because again, it is a big risk, then we do not think that you should do it.
Facts. I also want to dig into something that you said, right, in the letter. You said, I was betrayed and lied to constantly. And the next thing you said was, I was cold and ugly. I feel like we oftentimes will put the weight on us for the reaction, right? Without really putting the proper weight on the action that got us there. Right? Anybody who's been lied to and betrayed, and you didn't just say lied to and betrayed as if it was one time, you said constantly. So this was something that was happening on a consistent basis. Your reaction to that, if you were still kind and soft all the time when that is taking place, I would say, hey, something's probably a little bit wrong. Right? And so just in case, if you're feeling a bit of weight, guilt attached to that, I just want to take that off your shoulders. Don't wear that jacket anymore, because what was done to you, right? Your reaction was protection, right? And I just don't want you to carry a weight of, I really messed up there. I just want to give that to you.
Yeah. So we are all for reconciliation, of course. Anything can be brought back together if it's given to God. And if we are fully committed to God, and if that's where the change comes from. If there has not been that change and that surrender, then it's definitely not something that we say is worth pursuing. But anytime two people come together and they are willing to put in the work, restoration can happen.
100%. Whatever felt like impossible in God's hands is just another day. Watch me work. Right? So if you guys have made the decision together that we are going to commit to this process, then we say fix it. But if you bring this to them and they say, hey, I'm not ready for what this entails, forget it. We did it. How you feeling, girl?
Good.
You did great. You like that, huh?
Don't do
You like
that to
that?
me.
No,
Oh my
listen,
God.
hey, I'm just on. Listen, We cannot wait to do this again. Stay
Yeah.
tuned. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the alert button, because we're going to do this a lot.
Yes.
Listen, more stories are coming in. And if you guys haven't said a story yet, do it. Send it to stories@shiftedsite.com so we can go ahead and talk to you guys about what you're experiencing and how we would handle it as coaches.
Yep.
Listen, y'all, marriage takes effort. So put it in. Bye.